Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to the review of the final season of Beastwars. Finally. Sorry it took so long to get the series finished, but here we are. And something cool, they have released figures of the original toys, including the original packaging, which gives me so much nostalgia from seeing in stores when I was a kid. So that's really cool. I'm guessing it's probably for the new movie coming out and all that, but really cool. They're very expensive, but maybe one day I'll get myself a Cheeto. Anyway, let's get started with episode 1. Quick recap. Anyway, let's get started with episode 1. A little quick recap first. Megatron did something to kill the original Optimus Prime, destroying time itself so the Maximals no longer exists. Well, they still do, as he isn't quite dead yet, which I don't see why he was able to just kill Optimus Prime right from the start. So for some reason, Megatron is outstanding at a stupid spot that Black Arachnia, having the codes to the ship, can activate a system to basically knock him out of his ship, even though, why was he standing there suddenly? Whatever, it's an excuse to keep it all going, isn't it? So, Silverbolt and Black Arachnia are able to get Optimus and get him healing, thing attached to him so it stops the time storm happening. But he is still dying. We also see his messed up face as Primal and the others come in, and I like the joke here.
Well, that's just Prime.
Oh, what's left of him anyway? Oh.
You get it? Because he is Prime. That is funny to me, I will admit. So, Primal, because, yeah, if I hadn't, made that clear, there's Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. You get it? Because he is an animal, so he's Primal. So, yeah, so we'll refer to them as such, so Primal ends up taking Prime's spark within him to protect it and heal it while they repair Optimus Prime, now having more time to do so. So Megatron wakes up and gets Waspinator and a Photo to come to him, showing yes, and Photo did survive. I guess they left it open if they should kill him off or not, but nah, he's fine. Which I like him, so I'm okay with it. So returning back to Primal, his body is struggling to hold the two sparks and his body is changing. There we see the little spider things repairing Tarantulas, so that's how he was able to survive the blast that also killed Ravage, which we do indeed see he is dead. We then get our first look at the new Primal, looking more like an original Transformer, and even got much bigger in size. Though it still retains an ape-like form that he only ever uses once, so I don't see the point.
Big butt? How do you feel?
In a word, Prime.
Megatron comes in calling him Optimal Optimus. I love Optimus just acting like a dad. No, we don't play in here. Go outside and shoot your guns.
Not here. Do you understand? Take it outside.
But at the same time, dude, you got an opportunity here to just fly around and shoot. But yep, he just gives up here. Again, because it's a whole new season, I have to have a weak excuse for him to just quit and leave. If anything, now the Maxwell's base is unguarded. We see Optimus now has a jet mode, though we also see he has a tank mode.
It's time to transform and roll out.
So we make it outside. Black Arachnia had one off on her own, as usual. Megatron finds her and scraps her, as an Optimus makes chase and we get this little gag.
Jumping gyros! Optimus sure learns a new body fast. Yeah, well, what do you expect? He changes him often enough.
So now things get sad as Black Arachnia is dying, and Silverbolt gets very poetic as he confesses his love for her. But also is hey, tell me you're Maximal. Still on about that. And in the end, she says that she joins his side before finally passing away. Well, not really. Yeah, she's fine, which is kind of funny.
Very touching, Silverbolt, but she's just in stasis lock.
So if you can, stop crushing her to your manly torso plate.
Oh, yes, very well.
The others catch up to Megatron and take him out, but Rampage with help of the little spider lights for some reason are at the Maximals base and try to take it down. Primal arrives, but in the end tries to protect the very important spark within him instead, which ends up with the stupid face Maximal ship whipping into and falling into the river below in glorious, or maybe not so glorious, CGI fashion. In the end, Primal returns the spark back into Prime, and also Black Arachnia is fine. Still going by Predacon, which is just annoying at this point. Like, we get it, she's a bad girl, but, like, come on. So now the Ark is their new base, and they also use the front half of the ship still as part of it. Not a bad start, it's just that there was, like, no deaths besides Ravage from, like, the previous season. I feel like killing off Black Arachnia would have been a good way, good start to the series, and, like, she would have died at Maximal's death, and finally accepting who she was. But nah. Episode 2, we see a new ship coming with someone known as After Protoform X, which is Rampage. It goes through an anomaly, changing the character inside as it locates Rampage's signal. Rampage even senses him. The ship comes crashing down onto Earth. We get this great moment with Inferno, who was supposed to attack the base with Rampage, but Rampage left. Cheeto goes to a crashed ship, but Rampage is there too and takes him down, calling the other old friend. So this is intriguing, I will say. The ship goes down into the water and activates the DNA sequence, and then we see him in full in his new form, a manta ray, and his name is Death Charge. Which at least he does like save Cheeto for being in the water, being a cat after all. And poor Waspinator in the next scene, just being so depressed.
Oh, Inferno blow up Waspinator must salvage. Waspinator blow up nobody's salvage. No, why universe hate Waspinator?
We see the Manta also can fly, making him pretty versatile, but Cheeto ends up getting stuck with the systems being all wet, and now Rampage and Death Charge finally meet and fight it out. They do mention this little party that they had, then that like Death Charge was the one that captured him in the end. Death Charge does win in the end, but Quickstrike takes him down, only to be taken down himself as Primal and Cheeto appear. They take him back to base as Rampage scuttles off like the crab he is, and then we finally learn what's going on.
Depth Charge was in charge of security for Colony Omicron. Protoform X escaped there and leveled the colony.
Only Depth Charge survived.
As Death Charge comes out, I feel sorry for Cheeto, just trying to make friends.
I'm Cheetor. Thanks for pulling me out of the water.
Go chase a mouse.
So Death Charge is like, yeah, I'm out of here to find Rampage, not answering questions or really helping. Even when he sees the Ark and understands where he is, he still doesn't care and just wants justice for what Rampage did. Episode 3, the base is being constantly attacked, so they need to get their defense system back online. To do so, they need to go underwater. Death Charge can't be reached, so Black Arachnia builds a small submarine and Optimus volunteers Raptrap to go do it, which he hates, but he has no choice. And we get this little scene from Cheetor.
What are you grinning about, little butt?
I was just thinking, with you inside, that would make a swell cat toy.
Then as Raptrap makes his way down, we get this little scene.
Hey, this is, kinda cool.
Raptrap ends up being attacked by Rampage, but luckily Death Charge shows up, so they duke it out as Raptrap gets Sentinel, eventually doing so, resurfacing and heading off for Silverbolt. But Waspinator shows up, and this happens. Waspinator ends up flying off a Sentinel. Silverbolt tries to convince Death Charge to help, but nope. Blah blah blah, a bunch of stuff happens. Death Charge does try to help in the end, but ends up crashing into them instead, so Inferno gets Sentinel and flies off. And that's that.
We did it! Let's get this gizmo back to base!
Now the Preds have the Sentinel defense system, but Death Charge finally agrees to help the Maximals now. Episode 4 starts off with the monkey people now wearing clothing, but also seeing one holding Dinobot's improvised weapon, and then suddenly, dinosaur! A Dinobot, if you will. It's kind of funny that in the original show, like, again, I didn't really know these things as I never watched the original, but the robot dinosaurs, mostly like the raptor ones, are called Dinobots. So it makes you wonder, was he already a Dinobot beforehand? But yeah, anyway, Monkey Dude's being attacked, 2 of them children, and we get this lovely face. So Optimus saves them. Basically, Megatron's been resurrecting dinosaurs and fitting them with their technology. Something like that anyway, you know, that kind of futuristic robot tech. Yeah, basically making, Dinobots. So here's some weird shit. The 8 kids are running around with Maxwell's new base as they're like trying to just like protect them. They kind of lost their tribe, so they're just kind of protecting them. Black Arachnia is up to shifty stuff as usual, and Cheeto comes running around the corner to catch the kids and bumps into her. And now suddenly seems to be falling for her.
Sorry, they're just here until we can find their tribe.
Why? This is so stupid. Like, I get it. He's the youngest and probably at the stage where he needs to get laid, but this comes out of complete nowhere. It doesn't work. It just annoys me so much. Anyway, Rattrap does see something is up with Black Arachnia. For some reason, Optimus tasks Black Arachnia to escort the kids to find a tribe, but they can't, like, scan them from the air, basically. Silverbolt offers to help, like, just walk them there, but he got injured when attacking the Dino, so Cheeto steps in, and Silverbolt hates that. Again, what is the sudden love conflict?
I'll go with her.
Agreed.
Also, these children. The CGI in the show is fine. It looks good with the characters, but not with these guys. I mentioned that it wouldn't look good on like human characters, and these essentially are, and it doesn't work. They generally just look creepy and hilarious at the same time. So Cheeto flies one of them around while the female one pretends to be Black Arachnia at one point because she thinks she's cool. And Cheeto does too.
She just thinks you're kind of cool. And you know what?
Don't even start.
Then a Dino attacks Cheeto, tries to be stylish but fails.
You like this little maneuver?
So now it's up to Black Arachnia, but what will she do? She ends up defending them and saves the day. We see Tarantulas the first time in like forever, still working for Megatron. I guess that like whole story of him being a spy in a secret police went nowhere. But yeah, him and a few dinos are gonna attack Cheeto and such. Silverbolt worries as they can't get a hold of him, so he insists he goes and looks for him. Eventually him and Optimus do leave, leaving the base with just Rhinox and Rattrap to defend the base as the Predacons show up. Tarantulas created some sort of venom that he fires into Optimus, which just looks kind of weird. Megatron makes his way to the base, so shit's going down. Black Arachnia ends up protecting the children, risking her own life, and Silverbolt loves that she did that. But then we get one of the most random, most funniest moments here.
You and Rhinox are our last hope. Defend the...
There he is, my little guy. There he is, my little guy. Isn't he cute?
I just love Cheeto's face. But yeah, it's just so random, so hilarious, but it's so memorable. It's such a memorable just moment and line and just... I love it. And it's just so stupid, but it's great. Suddenly Boss Monkey shows up, defeating the Dino, and now I understand where the weakness is. On the big frickin' things on the back, which is very, very, very obvious. So back in the base, looks like they're screwed, but Death Charm shows up and is able to help defeat them. Though Rattrap, still same as always.
Not too shabby.
Still smells like fish.
Everything is okay. Cheeto gets rejected by Black Arachnia, and he's all moody because he ain't a kid. But I do like Silverbolt hiding her with his wing here. Still hate this though. So back with the Preds, Megatron refers to the Dinos as Transmetal 2. He does say they're a success, but unstable without a spark. But he does have half of one which then shows Rampage's spark. So ooh, little cliffhanger thingy here. Episode 5, Megatron and Waspinator have a stasis pod, and Megatron seems determined to protect it. In the end, Cheeto brings out a big freaking gun out of nowhere, ends up accidentally shooting down Optimus, which like, dude has like a flight mode, so I don't see how like this really got him. But now things get like a little spooky with whatever is going on. Even Waspinator goes like full Igor as Megatron brings out this weird ball thing.
It is time!
Yeah, Megatron.
Death Charge shows up and helps rescue Optimus from under all the rocks he ended up in. As he feels Rampage's spark is near, he goes off to find him, while Optimus yells at Cheeto for risking the Blade Protoform life within the pod. He scolds him, but is also damaged, so he goes back to base while telling Cheeto to go get backup. But nope, he thinks he can do it all by himself, so heads off. Back with Megatron, things are just getting weirder and weirder. Megatron gives the thing apparently half of Rampage's spark. So it looks like the whole thing. I'm kind of confused by that. The thing comes alive, and it's a very familiar face.
Yes, welcome Transmetal 2, Dinobot.
Dinobot is back. Woo! New Transmetal 2 form and a new mind. But I don't know how I feel about this. The way Dinobot went out is the most memorable moment of the show. It was heartbreaking. It was a great end to a storyline. And now they brought him back. So, like, to bring him back, I don't know. Also, how? I can't remember at the moment how, like, he, like, also has Dinobot spark to be Dinobot, exactly? I don't know. I guess technically he refers to Dinobot as a clone of him, which said I have made a clone of him before. But yeah, he's back, but full Predacon this time, with and very angry with Rampage's spark within him. Death Charge shows up and gets taken out in a pretty cool fashion. Cheeto shows up to help, kicking ass at first. Hell, he even knocks out Megatron. He does recognize Dinobot, and then Dinobot transforms, and he does this stupid thing. Later, Cheeto grabs a flying thing to go up and grab, like, the weird ball, firing it to Death Charge, but then Megatron blasts him, knocking him into the device, where he screams and dies. That's what I first thought when watching this. Like, they did not just kill off Cheeto. Like, what the actual fox if they did, right? Just the screaming and everything in this scene is heartbreaking in general, being a Cheeto fan. Death Charge returns to the base and gives a piece of Cheeto to Optimus, and yeah, it's just sad. Then he, like, heads off to some area to inspect the ball, and revealed it is of alien technology. Which, like, how did Megatron get it? It's never explained at all. But basically, Megatron enhanced it for Transmetal purposes. Death Charge throws it into the lava, but unknowingly Black Arachnio is listening and catches it. But then we do see Cheeto is alive, but severely damaged. But man, the sounds and everything, it's just weird and creepy. Like, they can do creepy really well sometimes for, like, you know, an old 90s show. And then we see Megatron sitting in a tub with a rubber ducky. Gotta love him sometimes. Rampage is there getting all moody about a spark being inside Dinobot, who is then shown to also have control over it. Death Charge goes out and gets captured by Dinobot, who does actually talk now as he wonders where the ball figure's gone. But as everyone interrogates him, we hear cat noises and something is stalking them. It runs past them, knocking out most of them, while Quick Strike tries to fight it but gets his butt kicked. Then knocks out Megatron. Rampage and Dinobot take themselves out. When Megatron gets up, he accidentally takes out Waspinator. Poor Waspinator. And then we get the true Looney Tunes scene. Now I've said this show has some weird comedy that hits those Looney Tunes vibes. Well, this is straight up Looney Tunes. It's funny, but it does ruin the mood of the episode with it being this kind of weird horror kind of thing. and then they throw in like a Looney Tunes reference, so it's like to remind you it's a kid's show. And then it gets tense again as Death Charge is now all alone with his thing, but Optimus shows up just in time, and at this point it's like, yeah, it's Cheeto, right? And then Cheeto shows up to base looking royally foxed up, but not changed. Then dun dun dun, it's a 2-part episode. So that's the end. Really good episode. Honestly, I mean, Dinobot is back for one, and the whole setting and mood was really good. I guess the laugh at the end was at least at the end. Yeah, it's a good episode. It really is. Episode 6 starts with seeing Cheeto's room, and I love how he has a photo of him and Optimus back in their original forms. That's pretty cute. But then they ruin it by having creepily having one of Black Arachnia. When did they take that? Like, come on, that's too much. No one asked for this. So Optimus checks up on him. He is still damaged but won't use the healing chamber for some reason. It's like, how do they not force him in there with how damaged he is? But yeah, now as Cheeto dreams, things get really freaking creepy and unsettling with the CGI and everything. Like again, they can do creepy and just unsettling. He's dreaming of changing into an ugly creature, and just damn did this unsettle me as a kid. But then as he wakes up, his body starts to change. He screams out and Rattrap goes to check on him, but out comes this new cat getting a better look at it now as it attacks Rattrap and heads off. Megatron picks up his signals and realizes it's a transmitter too, so he wants to get a hold of it. We then hear Cheeto's voice, aka, yeah, it's Cheeto trying to get a hold of himself, as you see his spark is now like this corrupted green sort of colour. Next we see Cheeto has now woken up and is like seemingly repaired and has flashes of what happened. Optimus has an idea of what might be happening as they try to like find where the beast went, though he's getting more and more frustrated because he cares about his little guy. Again, I like their friendship, and yeah, tries to figure out what actually happened up there for Death Charge, who's being a bit of a dick about it. Waspinator and Dinobot are out trying to find the beast, and we get another poor Waspinator moment.
Wait! Need plan! Waspinator in charge!
Does like no one realize his spark is indestructible too, like Starscream and Rampage at this point? But as Optimus is going to find Cheeto, he suddenly shows up, but is oddly lying about things, that he was out and killed the beast. Optimus has doubts, of course, and decides he wants Cheeto to take him to see the creature's remains. And we do see him go into his ape form, which, like, again, it's just so pointless at this point, because it's like the only time you actually see him become an ape, just to remind you, yeah, he's still an ape, I guess. So the two argue though, as Cheeto again seems so moody and like trying to keep secrets like a teen does. But then they're attacked by Dinobot, who takes out Optimus, and then Cheeto again starts changing in a very painful looking fashion. We get a quick look at like Dinobot and Waspinator, and like the poor thing has an arm in a sling, and it's just, I don't know, I just feel sorry for him at this point. But then the big moment as Cheeto officially sheds his fur and changes into his new Transmetal 2 form, and damn does he look so cool. I love this new form of his so much more than the second one. And he knows he's cool as he takes out Waspinator in pretty cool fashion.
Which bot? Oh, you mean this bot right here?
And then fights with Dinobot, changing over to his beast form and getting like a pretty cool fight, while maybe turning silly too. So others show up, Dinobot leaves, but Cheeto's beast form is still feral basically, but Optimus helps him understand like that he is still Cheeto and that he can do this. Optimus helping to heal his spark in some way, he manages to maximize and get control. And just Optimus being all happy, it's great.
Yes! You did it!
Optimus? Back off, okay? You're embarrassing me.
And then Rattrap interaction is kind of good too.
You looking at something?
Oh, joy, cyber puberty.
Later on, freaking Black Arachnia's reaction is kind of good, I will admit.
It's got some nice features. I could get used to it.
Yeah? I mean, whatever.
But it's more so she is interested in Transmetal body, so it seems like with that ball thing, she is up to something as usual. So yeah, end of episode. Good 2 episodes for sure. Really do love Cheeto's new form. He has now left the awkward teenage phase and hit the angry teenage phase. Episode 7. Black Arachnia has a program in her that keeps her a Predacon basically. She gets, which is kind of silly. Like, I don't know. It's basically because of Tarantulas and everything. So it's like, alright, fair enough. Because it's like Dinobot could just change. He could just rewrite his program by himself. But now they're trying to give, now suddenly they're giving an excuse as to why Black Arachnia can't. She gets all moody, they don't trust her still. Well, at least that's what she thinks. But it does seem like the Maximals want to try and turn her into a Maximal. She overhears that, what could happen to her that, destroying the program could kill her. So she leaves. Dinobot is outside the base and ends up following her. She ends up in a jungle area, thinking about the future, but we end up getting this little chase scene with Dinobot. Then we see something kinda amazing. Rattrap playing Street Fighter, the Beastwars version.
Round 1, fight!
Optimus totally does a Hadouken. Wasn't like that. It's original Optimus. Hell, probably before he was a monkey. But it's a second form of Megatron, so that's a little weird. But it's a funny moment. Silverbolt comes in wondering where she is, talking with Rattrap about it and convincing him to go off to get her before telling Optimus. Black Arachnia falls for one of Dinobot's traps. More fighting. She almost loses, but of course doesn't. We then see, I guess because of Rampage's spark, Dinobot can heal up pretty quickly. She tries to contact Silverbolt, but was led into a jamming zone, so she can't. But it's okay, because Silverbolt is a puppy after all and can sniff her out. And then back to Rattrap playing Beastwars Doom. Poor Waspinator. Silverbolt comes out one time getting his butt kicked by Dinobot. And as Dinobot is about to destroy him, Black Arachnia ends up shooting her guns and messing up Silverbolt badly, saying that it's not his fight, it's between Predacons. Black Arachnia tries to convince Dinobot that they should be partners and work together to take the Ark for themselves. Maybe lying, but we don't see as Dinobot doesn't trust her and does something to shut down her systems in a way. Silverbolt manages to get up using a device that he somehow knows how to work, almost manages to knock him off the cliff, comes back up, but Black Arachnia finishes the job. She says that she only shot him to get Dinobot away from him and that she was just trying to protect him. But Silverbolt doesn't know what to think as he heard her wanting to join Dinobot, so she gets all moody, you don't trust me either. And then Optimus does show up. Black Arachnia tries to escape, but Silverbolt holds her back. And I have to admit, this part's pretty funny.
But you're going to hear the truth if it... Oh!
Warned ya. Oh, not such a great idea.
And so Optimus explains she had a choice, they were never going to force anything on her. Basically, she's an idiot, but in the end says she doesn't want to change. Kind of pointless episode, but yeah. Episode 8. Oh no, the monkey kids are back.
Whoa! Totally ambushed! Oh yeah, I'm doomed now. Okay, you got me.
It is kind of cute how Big Boy or Daddy Cheeto is being with them, teaching them how to protect themselves and then just basic kind of stuff, and it will teach a lesson. For some reason Ratchet comes along and it's just watching this lesson.
Yeah, old Pop Op figures Prune Face is up to something major.
Whatever, just sit down and be quiet.
Hey, yeah, story of my life.
We say Megatron is building something, but sorry if the lighting goes off and all that, I think. Yeah, lots of cloud cover at the moment. Sorry. I know. I am not very professional. This is why I don't have subscribers, huh? We see Megatron is building something that damages cells, but basically it's something that can destroy the Maximals in the Ark, but it's too powerful for their bodies. So we need the apes to do it for them, as it doesn't affect them. And then it goes to this scene.
Okay, cool. Now you've shaped your stone, you attach it to the stick with a vine, and you've got a useful, non-violent tool.
Non-violent tool. You just made her a shake. A non-violent tool, my ass. Now that you have shaven down your stone to a sharp point that is able to stab someone's heart through their chest, you now have a non-violent tool. No, a stick is less violent. But then you gave her a pointy sharp wok attached to it. Cheeto, you're very cute, teacher, but a terrible one. He does like kind of lose his badass nature in this one, showing he's still a softie. I appreciate that. That said, would this also make Cheeto God? Like, we're all godly beings to the apes, let's be real here. At this point though, like, Cheeto is teaching them everything, so, like, would this kind of make him God? Neat. Waspinator and Ferdo go down and attack Cheeto and Rat-Trap to get the kids, and Maris is still the girl. Deathshot shows up just at the wrong time, goes off to take on the Preds, but Rat-Trap hits his wide while Cheeto was damaged and can't help, so it just looks after the boy. We see the girl doing... what? Oh, I don't know, maybe stabbing Waspinator and hacking off his limbs with a non-violent weapon?
She'd better not be injured.
No, she injuring Waspinator.
Situation normal then.
I do like he refers to her as Fleshy Bot. Like, he doesn't realize they're not robots. That's kind of cool. That's a neat little thing to show with Waspinator. I don't know. It's neat, okay?
Waspinator deliver Fleshy Bot. Safe and sound.
So Fred shoot off a weapon at Rat-Trap and Death Charge. All it really does though is make Death Charge unable to move, but Rat-Trap is fine. So we do also see it doesn't affect the girl. Later Megatron tries to get her to add like shielding up and like do like kind of sort of like repairs on the weapon or whatever. And Megatron just gets so frustrated. It's kind of funny.
There. Put it on those bolts. No, there. Yes, there. Oh, for the love... No, right there.
In the end, she does though. Last of all, installing a crystal thing into the machine. Rat-Trap shows up at that point, but it is kind of screwed. Megatron tells Tarantulas to take care of the girl, but she's smart now and manages to take him out in traditional fashion. He gets squished a lot. I guess like a spider, huh?
Oh no!
They go back to Death Charge to help him, using a lever to help him up, managing to get him into water where he can at least float. So, funny little moment here and there, back to the press, and they got the thing working and about to fire. But it doesn't work because she stole the crystal, so it just ends up blowing up instead, and end our episode. Kinda pointless again, not the worst. I appreciate them showing Cheeto is still a softy idiot. Episode 9 starts with Black Arachnia using the little ball gizmo to try and turn herself into a transmetal. But of course Silverbolt comes in trying to save her, warns the experiment, but still something seems to be like affecting her. Back at the base they realise her systems are now going to shut down if they don't destroy the code like keeping her a Predacon. So Black Arachnia has like the Ark access codes that she downloaded from Golden Disc. That's probably what makes her so important. She ends up trusting Optimus finally and gives her the codes, just in case something happens to her. So we see this like weird little thing of how like they remove this program. It's kind of cool like way of showing it. But as they start destroying it, Tarantulas gets a message on his computer about the destroying the shell program is what it's called. I like that like, he messes Megatron, who's just taking a bath with his rubber ducky again. And they figure out what's going on and that Optimus now has the codes. So now the Preds go and attack the base, making this much more difficult for Wynox to try and destroy this program, which also now gets viruses thanks to Tarantulas. Unfortunately, one of them gets free, affecting her systems, and looks as though she is done for. The Preds leave, Maxwell's think, yay, but then realizes it's because she is gone. They have this little moment before realizing Silverbolt is around because he left to go hunt down Tarantulas. So as everyone leaves to go to him, we go back to the base and see the ball thing interacting with Black Arachnia somehow. Well, Silverbolt dukes it out with Tarantulas. He wins and is about to freaking stab him with a spike. Kinda brutal. Ravage shows up though and takes him down. But as he about to finish him off, the new Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia shows up, somehow knowing exactly where he was before the others. She actually maximizes this time, not terrorizes, showing that she is now a true Maximal.
Black Arachnia maximize!
I will say, I also love this line.
Goodbye!
You missed, and you're ugly.
Why add the ugly part? Like, ouch. But it's kinda great. I think I might have to say this to someone who tried throwing something at me and, like, missed. Anyway, lovey-dovey shit back at the base, and this little funny moment as the episode ends.
Transmetal power. Better get used to it.
Episode 10. So episode starts off with them sending out Waspinator to go attack the base. Somehow managing to take down Silverbolt, but it turns out the other pirates weren't following behind him like he thought. So he was just a decoy and it gets smushed.
Where was Venator's troops?
This event shows like Tarantulas shooting a dart thing into Optimus that goes through his systems until reaching a spark. And then the Preds take control of him, making him tell the Maximals to go away before knocking out Cheeto, showing he isn't in control. Black Arachnia comes to the base, but everything is quiet and no one is around. Then Optimus appears but grabs her as the Preds then reveal themselves. Optimus is shown to have Quickstrike's voice, who then like comes down in a device showing he is in control. Why leave him out of all people in control, I don't know. But yeah, all the Maximals are captured and things are looking bad. The only one out there is Death Charge. So they go to the Ark, Optimus now having a courage, opens it up while Rampage is doing some foot-poured freaky stuff to Black Arachnia, who is then shown to have psychic powers? What? I don't know, dudes. It's weird because it never happens again. If it happened again, okay, whatever, but it never does, so it's just weird. So this time as Megatron goes through the Ark, he stops by the original Megatron that's there as well, and mentions that Optimus got his new form from the original, then he should be able to get stronger with the original Megatron spark. And I do love like when they show Megatron's insides, how dark and creepy they are compared to when we have seen from the Maximals. And I do admit, I do like the idea of like the new like Optimus and Megatron gaining more power from the old versions. That's a kind of cool little idea. But yes, he combines his spark, but turns out Tarantulas knew this would happen and convinced Quickstrike to take over as Megatron is weakened. Black Arachnia is now out and trying to get the Maximals back. And then we go back to Quickstrike, who drops Megatron into the nearby lava, essentially killing him. Like, damn, didn't see that coming. But wait, the original Megatron spark is inside this Megatron now. So wouldn't that also kill the original Megatron, making the timeline completely different? Whatever in the end. It's not the same as killing Optimus Prime because that meant the Preds win the war. Here it just means the Preds wake up and go, oh, Megs is dead. Well, we surrender. Well, Decepticons, sorry. But then Tarantulas plans to blow up the Ark. Oh, okay, never mind then. Black Arachnia takes down Inferno and is able to go help with the others. Now with his plan done, Tarantulas leaves the Ark, walking past the lava, and dun, out comes a freaking dragon. Or just Megatron's new hand. Yep, now he's a dragon, which is pretty damn cool, I will admit. I do like the sounds of it makes, and like very bird Tarantulas. He's okay though.
Thanks to your treachery, my power is greater than ever. Let me thank you.
Oh no!
Meanwhile in the base, Black Arachnia takes care of Quickstrike, freeing Optimus. They go to the Ark and we get a slightly cringy line from Megatron as he enters. Like, yeah, we get it, you're a dragon.
Enter the dragon!
So Optimus and Megatron find out where Black Arachnia tries to stop the Ark exploding. We see Megatron can also use like ice as well as fire. Just this once though, it's the only time he uses it. But yeah, everyone's awake now and attacks Megatron and then he flies off. That said, doesn't he still have Megatron Spark inside him? Whoops. It gets explained. Episode 11, we finally get to see the alien race that's been in the series from the start and disappeared from most of the show. And holy crap, these things are just terrifying. These are the stuff of nightmares.
The experiment has been terminated.
The Nexus is gone, but the danger still exists.
But then we see something truly incredible. Airwazer and Tigatron. They're just there holding hands still, cutely, like the aliens are going on about there seems to be like a disturbance in the time flow back on Earth, aka the experiment, which they say has ended, but they need to restore the timeline. But if the experiment like has been terminated, why keep Airwazer and Tigatron? I don't get that. It's just bad writing at this point, in my honest opinion. And now it's like, oh my god, Airways and Tigatron, yes, they're coming back in some form, yes. But we see them do something I still hate. They combine the two sparks, or like make a whole new spark body, like use just like their bodies and combine them. Because we get like this new form that the aliens then go into and then travel out into space. But then the two sparks follow behind, I guess, which is our Tigatron and Airwazer. So basically they use their bodies to create this new form. It's like, okay, but the two sparks are still separate, so that's kind of cool, I guess. So there's hope. But we'll explain as it goes on. And then suddenly Megatron being a judge with like the hair and all really takes the badass dragon form down a bit. But yeah, he is putting Quick Strike on trial. Yeah, this whole scene is just weird. It's just weird. But it's also like to show Translus also portrayed Quick Strike by trying to destroy the Ark. That's not what he wanted. So Translus is once again doing his own thing. Luckily though, Quick Strike is saved by them picking up the alien signal coming to the planet. The aliens are coming down like a comet right down on the planet's base. And in the end, they have no choice but to abandon the base. So their base is officially destroyed. And Maxwell is quite happy with that. Well, at least Rattrap is.
Looks like the Beastwars are over.
Further threats!
We get a better look at this new Transformer coming out of the ashes. His name, or their name, is Tigerhawk, with Tigatron's voice and all. They say they're an emissary of the Volk. The Volk being the name of the aliens. The Volk are charging him for messing with the timelines, even though he did that ages ago and nothing happened. Only when Translus does something do they, like, calm down. Since this is near the end of the show, it does kind of feel like we're just like, oh shit, why? Aliens. Tigatron and Airways' story was never finished. Why? Whoops. That's what it feels like. It feels rushed. It feels sudden. Anyway, she takes him out. Megatron loves him.
Its power is awesome.
Optimus decides to send in Cheeto, who's out and about, to pretty much help Megatron, because they acknowledge he still does have Megatron's spark within him, so if he's destroyed, then yeah, the timelines would be even more messed up. So that's kind of funny, because like, Tigerhawk is trying to, well, the Volk are trying to restore the timelines, fix everything, yeah, they're just going to make it worse. They end up fighting in beast mode. Cheeto shows up, but Translus is there to web him. More fighting. Tigerhawk is about to kill Megatron, but Optimus shows up. The Volk, who are in control after all, are being very stubborn as usual. Stop Optimus instead. But before he can do anything else, Translus uses little spider flares to put him into stasis. So then we do see the two sparks coming out to Cheeto, while Megatron wakes up and flies away. And Cheeto is greeted by the souls of Tigatron and Airways, showing to him like their bodies are now one by the Volk, and then they help show him away. I do like that, like they're showing Cheetos away, because he always seemed like he, you know, there was a whole big cat, little cat thing, and you know, those two were kind of friends and connected, and they're like, there wasn't like, there was like little things with like Airways and Cheeto, or maybe, I don't know. I'd like that, like, if they meeting up and greeting up with Cheeto, of all of them. Tigerhawk wakes up in Tarantulas' little lair, and basically he wants to get rid of the alien influence within him, and then use Tigerhawk's powers for himself. So Tigerhawk mentions that, like, if you mess with the Ark, you will destroy everyone, but Tarantulas goes only for those of descendants from Autobots and Decepticons, but him and others on the council that he's part of, this whole, like, secret police thing of the Decepticons, but not Decepticons, I don't know, a weird thing that he's part of, they're part of something else entirely. So if both Autobots and Decepticons losing, then this third lot will be the rulers. Honestly, that's kind of interesting, but it'd be nicer if his story was a lot more fleshed out and direct, as the story itself is interesting, having this, like, other third race, you know, but it never goes anywhere, or third faction, I guess. But that's it. It doesn't go anywhere. Cheeto makes his way in, being stopped by the little spiders, and then this.
You're insane.
So they say.
That's probably the weirdest thing he has ever done. Tarantulas tries to extract the vault, but they end up leaving on their own, going right to a Tarantulas, which immediately, because they're, like, so creepy looking. And this is pretty terrifying seeing. They go into Tarantulas, the machine now targets at him and blows him up for good. Yep, Tarantulas is officially dead by the aliens he was always so intriguing. Kinda fitting end to him. Though in the first comic that came out, that, like, in a way, continuation before a certain other show came out. Of course, he is still alive in, like, the comics, and actually becomes, like, the main villain, while Tigatron and Airways, they get their bodies back. So that kind of intrigues me in a way. But that story was never finished. It's fine, whatever, like, you know, whatever. I don't care about comics or all that. They're all made by other people in the end. Comic continuations don't really mean anything to me, you know. But yeah, that kind of was cancelled after another show came out that we as Beastwars fans don't talk about. We'll do so later at the end of the video though. But yeah, Cheeto saves Tigerhawk, and then we see the two sparks coming together into Tigerhawk and officially making them one. But it only ever feels like Tigatron in there. But yeah, so I mentioned that in, like, the last video that I did. They do something with Tigatron and Airways, like a bit a lot that they were dead. And well, they still are, because now they're like one body, but it's basically just Tigatron. But at the same time, not really. He has slightly different personality. Like, he's not the same Tigatron at all. So really, Airways is dead, but not him. That's really what's happening here. But, you know, he doesn't really care because Airways is still there with him. But to us watching, no, they're both dead. This is pretty much a whole new character. Like, two were showed to fall in love, but no, they can't really share that now. Their two sparks becoming one isn't a bad idea now. That, like, they're always together. I understand that's probably what they're going for. But they're still just one person now. I can never truly share their love. I don't know, it's weird. Alien Transformers shit that I just don't like. I'm a sucker for love, and they stole that from them. I don't care what anyone says, I would never be happy with this decision. Just to bring them back in this way. Like, imagine how awesome it would have been if the two of them, like, got, like, new forms and everything. That would have been, like, so awesome if they're coming down in these two new forms, helping out, and it was like, whoa, it's Airways and Tigatron. But that would have been so good. But I'm just left with this feeling of confusion, sadness, and just meh. This isn't what I wanted. Also, yep, the aliens never make another appearance, and really this is just the end of them. Yep, they never show up again, nothing. The story with them was great in the first season, and then it just really died out, making it a really pointless storyline. They have to, like, go onto, like, the internet and look at comics to actually understand what it was all about. And in a way, the Volk created Earth, they created many of them as experiments. And this was like their last one, but the Transformers coming into the ruined their experiment, and they're going to destroy it. But the plans were stopped by Optimus at the end of the first season. After that, it's all just bad writing. Episode trails, so that they have no idea where the Preds are. They're out hiding while trying to find a new base, which they find a place in Transitor's destroyed lair. Turns out he's been working on something. Deathcharge finds the place, but they set a trap, but somehow it damages the crap out of Silverbolt, not Deathcharge? He is fine though, but yeah, Inferno, Quickstrike, and Waspinator try to find a new base and come across the apes, which Inferno is like, yes, we'll make this our new colony. But Waspinator is having a bit of a crisis. Ah, poor Waspinator.
How's about it, bug boy? You ready to rip?
No.
What?
But the royalty commands. I said no! Dragonbot command you, Sub-Commander Kissbutt! Dragonbot not command Waspinator! Not anymore! Waspinator, sick of being evil, sick of being Predacon! And Waspinator especially sick of getting blown to scrap all the time! So, Waspinator quit! As of now, which means Antbot and Two Heads can just pucker their mandibles and plant big, wet, juicy one right here on Waspinator's big, fat, stripey...
Inferno and Quickstrike go into fight, only to be taken out by the apes, now using tools and weapons. So down in the lair, turns out down there is a ship called Nemesis. And Optimus is like to Deathcharge, nope, stop being you, and not going after Rampage. We need to stop Megatron now. That's all that matters. And yes, Megatron ends up explaining that this is the most powerful battleship in Transformers history.
The ship that shot down the Ark itself. The Nemesis. The Nemesis.
We do see it briefly, very much mimicking the Star Wars show with the Beastwars. Which just makes me go, how are Megatron and such on the ship? Like, why would the Decepticons shoot down the Ark if Megatron and such on board? Like, I think they hijacked the ship and managed to get on board, but why keep fighting? Like, I'm really confused by all that, honestly. Like, I'm sure it makes more sense in the show, it's just the way it's depicted in Beastwars, it's a bit odd. Or at least it should have actually been explained, I guess is the answer there. Megatron makes his way on the inside. On the outside, Deathcharge and Rampage fight it out. And it is a pretty cool fight with them, like, using, like, energon crystals like blades, so you can cut into them to get to the spark. So they keep fighting, and then in the end, he's about to stab him. Which, I mean, okay. So, I just kind of realized, I legit just realized that Megatron only took half his spark, not his entire spark. Which is, yeah, I just realized that, like, yeah, the little thing of, like, Megatron having, like, a little thing that he can squish was only half his spark, not all of it, which is why it hurt him. That needed to be so much more clearer. I thought he took his entire spark, so that's why he was able, so that's what he put into Dinobot, that half. Because, yeah, when he, like, stabs it, like, when he does cut him, we do clearly see he still, Rampage still clearly has the spark within him. So that's half of it. That's confusing. That's really bad. That was... I don't feel like it was very clear. I really don't. But I legit just realized that. I legit realized that just now. So they keep fighting, and then in the end, he's about to stab him. Rampage accepts his fate, but laughs it off, knowing what would happen if using energon like this. Deathcharge stabs them, and they explode, killing them both. Yep, they are both dead now. Definitely coming up to a final. But also because, like, half his spark is with Dinobot, he feels the pain and reacts to it in a strange, intriguing way. In the end, though, the Energon did nothing to the ship as it rises from the ocean. Episode 13, the final episode now. Starts with Megatron blasting the Earth and Optimus saying to deploy Operation Eternity. While Megatron gets all preachy, Optimus and Tigerhawk try to attack the ship but doesn't get anywhere, while Dinobot feels strange. So the other Maximals seem to be moving things, and this little line for Whack Trap is pretty funny. It's funny.
Come on! Bot calls up with his gears in a grind, and suddenly I gotta pack up my Pret Pots collection? Man, you know how many pieces of Waspinator I got?
But yeah, they have to move the Ark, basically. Tigerhawk takes on the ship by himself, being pretty strong after all, and Dinobot sees this as him taking a brave stand and quite noble, talking like his old self.
A brave stand and noble.
And then this scene as Tigerhawk takes on a laser attack and dies. Yep, he dies just like that. This really strong character that's brought back only like 2 episodes ago is killed off. Why even bring them back if you're just going to kill them off and not even like have them like do just anything? There's absolutely no point at all bringing them back. What, so Dinobot could become his old self again seeing this noble act? Yeah, I bet that's what it was, but there's so many other ways they could have done it. This is why I hate the whole Tigerhawk thing, because it was just damn well pointless, making us all excited that yay, they're back and then dead, without a proper send-off, or just anything in the end. I feel like Optimus here reacting afterwards.
Unit Tigerhawk terminated.
Goes back to Inferno and Quickstrike attacking the ape still, and then the ship goes overhead and Dinobot starts to remember.
This all seems hauntingly familiar. But why?
You saved the valley. You saved the lives of those who live here, and of those who are still to come.
And before Megatron fires down on the others, does stop him to convince him and even mentions, "Where's your honor?" But in the end, fires down right on Inferno and Quickstrike, killing them as well. Yeah, I understand Quickstrike as he did betray him, but why let Inferno die and not tell him to fly up on the ship? He is the most loyal companion he has. Inferno will do anything for Megatron, but I guess out of sheer just gone mad with power, kills them.
My queen! We're down here!
Well, I don't like the looks of this.
And I guess wiping out the apes too for the most part when you think about it. So Dinobot saving them was all for naught then. Well, we do know the tribe split off, so this is just one of them, I guess, but still. But a scene will be shown at the end. Megatron shows up with the ship as they try to take off with the Ark, but it fails. The Preds start using a tractor beam to uncover the Ark while waiting for their weapon to power up. Optimus flies up to stop it, managing to get on board the ship. This part is kind of funny.
Oh, well, come on, let's have it. The usual destiny and honor speech.
Speech this.
All while Widox is still trying to get the Ark to work, which still continues to fail. So Dinobot doesn't like this whole no honor thing. So he ends up somehow sending blueprints of the Ark to the Maximals, showing there is another ship within the Ark they can use to escape. How they did do this and how he knew, I don't know. There's this really stupid line.
The history tracks never mentioned this.
History's still being made.
Because history is still being made. That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm guessing like it's meant to be like, oh no, the records of it are from Optimus and all that when they woke up. Like the original Optimus Prime and all that, when they wake up, they can talk about the Ark and put in all these little details about the Ark. No. Because the blueprints already exist, you know, the blueprints already exist, and, you know, the people who made it would have written down all these little things about the ship, that, yeah, there was another pod on board that they could use if they need. It's bad, it's stupid, it's bad. Optimus is defeated, and the laser is at full power. The Maximals, however, do find the ship, and in the end, Dinobot chooses not to fire the laser, saying that he has his honor, truly becoming the old Dinobot.
What possible reason do you have to disobey me? I am your master! I am your creator!
And I have my honor.
And then as Megatron gets all moody, VitoFox is flying the ship straight into the Nemesis where they are, smashing it right into Megatron in badass fashion. And sadly here, Dinobot dies, I guess, as he gets taken down with the ship, but somehow is now being completely destroyed. Optimus saying, "Save yourself," rather than just flying over, grabbing him and running off.
Farewell, Optimus Prime.
In the end, Dinobot was the old Dinobot again, only to kill him off. I do hate in TV shows and such where, like, all the villains die and such right at the end. Like, yeah, it's cool to keep them around till the end, but, like, it doesn't leave much room to be all like, whoa, that character died, and really think about it and such. Especially in a show like this. Especially in a show like this, where it's like, they could survive all these things. You know, they constantly die but come back. So it's like, are they actually dead? It's hard to tell. But whatever, in the end, I get it, it's the final, you know, but you do know this is the final, so it's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense that they're killing them off now. But as well, like, they made Dinobot remember who he was just to kill him again. Like, goddamn. See, if Megatron was smart, he would have had Inferno on the ship. He would have done everything for him without question. So the ship crashes back down into the water, and the series ends with them taking the ship back home with them, mentioning Dinobot, and it's a little sad. I'm just a little moody that they brought him back, truly, just to kill him off. And not, like, save him so you go home and maximal. But still, him dying, like, honestly, it's fine. It's better dealt with than Tiger Hawk.
In the spark of an enemy, there will be salvation. And in the darkest hour, there will be a light.
Yeah, from a very unexpected source. Old Chopperface's clone. Who'd have thunk it?
So then we do see what happens to Megatron. But before the show ends, we go back to the apes, I guess, who managed to survive their attack. And I will admit, this is great.
Waspinator happy at last.
Waspinator is still alive and is perfectly fine and happy. That's kind of great. This whole season has just been poor Waspinator, so he gets a happy ending. But yeah, that's it. Beastwars is finally done. Now, there is Beastwars Beast Machines, but we don't talk about that ugly show that even the voice actors didn't like working on. Their new forms they get are just extremely ugly. They're just really ugly. The whole show is just ugly. Like, look what they did to Rat Trap. Even worse, like, he has no weapons. Yeah, Rat Trap doesn't fight at all. He just plugs into things. That's it. That's his whole thing. Like, yeah, sure, that's kind of what he was. He was like the, techie kind of guy. He was the infiltrator kind of person. So it makes sense. Well, why get rid of his weapons? It makes no sense. And why make him ugly? That's the big question. Why make him so ugly? Cheeto ends up being like the main hero now, which, I mean, it's cool, but it's just a bit weird. Silverbolt isn't there. It turns out later Sparkle's playing like one of the bad guys. Later becomes good, but is a completely different personality, being very emo, depressed and everything, and not the hero we all know. And just his new form is ugly too. Waspinator is somehow back as well, with his spark put in another. I don't really remember what happens there, but yeah, that was the whole thing. kind of funny little joke, I guess. Like, they're trying to rescue one of the like bad guys who has like a spark put in him, and they think it's Silverbolt. But once it's turned back to the way it was, turns out it's Waspinator. That is funny, but that's the only reason why Waspinator was in there, because that's really stupid. Because how Waspinator is back on Earth, and so it's stupid. It's stupid. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid little joke. Megatron looks like this the entire show, like some stupid cocoon thing, and he even says he absolutely hates the beast forms, and it sounds like he just wants to get rid of all of that kind of stuff, even though he never seemed to hate it because it gives him more power and everything, but suddenly now he hates it. I get it. He failed using those forms. They didn't really work for him, but he was much, much stronger. But he decides to make himself a cocoon, and that's it. That's his whole form. He doesn't do anything. He's stuck in that one position. He doesn't go out fighting or anything like that. He doesn't fight. He doesn't do anything. He's stuck. And it sucks. Why ruin such a great villain? They absolutely did. He's not iconic in this. You first see Cheeto and such in their original Beastwars forms, which makes no sense. Like, they're using like a de-evolving beam thing to change them back somehow, but why? How does it go back to those forms? I don't get it. Somehow Megatron got out to even start this whole new war thing where all the rest of the Cybertron are just gone, besides like one new character that I do like, but still. Winox is now evil. Yep, Winox basically becomes the big bad guy at the end. It's basically that whole idea that Winox is so good that when something bad happens to him, he becomes extremely evil. But it's just so stupid because it's not what he deserved as a character. Yeah, let the nicest one become evil, and then only in the last seconds before he frickin' dies, becomes good, and it mechanically ends with Cybertron becoming half nature, half cyber, because that's what Winox would have wanted in the end. Being a big softie that was turned evil, I don't mind the whole idea of the canon kind of ending, because that is the official canon ending of the original Transformers. This is the official ending of it all. Is Cybertron becoming half nature, half that's it, half organic, half cyber. And I don't mind that ending. I don't mind that idea, you know. So now they're gonna have all flowers and all this kind of stuff around Cybertron and all that kind of stuff. I don't mind that idea. It's just how they got there I don't like. It's a bad show. I hate everything to do with it. They butchered all the characters, make them really ugly for one, to have like just this darker kind of theme. We don't want darker themes. I don't get it. It's like adults don't want to do cartoons. You know, they don't want to be all silly and make cartoons, even though that's what kind of made Beastwars great in the end. You know, all those silly Looney Tunes jokes were funny. They're weird, but because they're all done as CGI, and so it was just silly but fun, you know. But no, let's make it all dark, and so there's just no humour as well. There's no humour. And it's just so bad. Just, no. To me, this is not the ending. This is not how... This show doesn't exist to me. This is how Beastwars ends. With them taking Megatron back to Cybertron, and then back on Earth, Transformers comes back, only to be stopped by Tigertron and Airways, so a new Transmetal form, so they come back, eventually going to Cybertron as well, and going out to strip clubs with Rat Trap. Done. I would never watch Beast Machines again. I watched it once when I was like much younger and all that, but so I don't remember all the details. I know there's a lot of things in there that I generally hated. Probably some things I did like, but, you know, it's probably not as bad as I remember. There's probably things I won't mind, but I'm not gonna do it again. I'm not gonna put myself for it. It's just an ugly show as well, as I said. It's just ugly. You know, like, yeah, the CGI in this, like, it generally gets better over the course of the seasons, and I generally like a lot of the stuff they do with it, but it's just ugly. So basically I'm saying I'm not going to review Beast Machines, only Beastwars. And this season I did enjoy more than I remember. I think it's just this is the season I've watched the least. So, but in the end I'll still give the season like a 5 out of 10. it's average at best in the end with some bad choices. Again, some really bad choices. But there's some good ones, I guess. Like, I like Cheeto's new form and how they did that. I really like those 2 episodes. Hell, I didn't mind some of Black Arachnia's episodes as well, even though I don't like her as a character. They were well done, though, those kind of episodes. They felt like something for season 1. Overall, though, I think I will give Beastwars season 1, 2, 3, like all together, a 7 out of 10 foxes. I love the first season. The first season I could watch over and over again. First season, 10 out of 10. Easily. After that, though, the story just gets muddled. It just isn't very good. A couple good little things here and there, but the whole alien thing is suddenly dropped. But they still do like an episode here and there, but it just doesn't work. Because it doesn't really follow a very good story. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't work. Overall, it's a good show with amazing voice acting. Like, the voice acting really makes the show work in the end. It's got some good comedy and some bad moments like that. It's got a lot of sad moments, and ones that just make me angry. Overall, yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 foxes. Alright, that is finally done. I really gotta remember not to do TV show reviews, reviewing each episode like I do. This is over an hour video, isn't it? Oh my god, again. My voice, I could feel my throat is fucked. I can feel my throat is fucked at the moment. Just constant talking for over an hour. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't know if I'll be able to hear it while I'm editing, but I can hear it now. My voice, my throat is going. So I'm so happy it's ending. I will try better in the future not to do this. Like, I don't mind the idea of like having an hour-long episode. I need to end this video. I need to stop. Hi, bye. Hope you enjoyed this series, and if you did, please do give it a like. Please give my videos a like. Please go watch the Season 2 and Season 1 review. They're a lot of fun, a lot of time to make. It would easily take upwards of almost a week to edit and film and blah blah. They take a long time to do. This video, it takes a long time to edit. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.